Everybody knows the found outrage surrounding Mortal Kombat 11's latest DLC character, Sindel, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this subject in explaining what it's all about, but for those who are unfamiliar with this topic or the subject, let me explain to you what it's all about. So Sindel's story, or Sindel's bio in Mortal Kombat 11 reads as this. The former Queen of Edenia will stop at nothing to keep her place. When threatened with the loss of her throne when Shao Kahn conquered her realm, Sindel betrayed her husband and her people to keep her privileged position. Now, Shao Kahn's wife and Queen of Outworld, she enjoys power and wealth beyond most people's imagination. Good luck to anyone who tries to take it from her. Honestly, that last part wasn't in the initial bio, but that's still there. It's on the website, and I'm just like, that's cringe, bro. Bottom line is this. This makes her a one-dimensional generic character. There's no denying that. Now, let me have you compare that to her original story, and the story that we all have known Sindel to be, both from the current timeline and the original timeline. Now, the current timeline is a little bit different. There's a little bit of minor changes, but it's still kind of the general. Let me explain to you the general understanding of what we have understood Sindel to always be like in Mortal Kombat. So Sindel was the Queen of Edenia, married to her husband King Jared, and also mother to Kitana. And then her realm was invaded and conquered by Shao Kahn, and in the process, Shao Kahn killed her husband King Jared and took her as his wife, forced her into marriage with him, and also took her daughter. Then she killed herself because she didn't want to submit to a life of subservice. Then thousands of years later, she is revived from the dead and brainwashed to work for Shao Kahn and to be on Shao Kahn's behalf and to act evil. Then later on, Kitana saved her from the brainwashing. And then later in Deception, Kitana ended up getting brainwashed to serve Onaga, the main villain in that game, and Sindel went on to save her daughter from that brainwashing. This Sindel, Mortal Kombat 11, is a gold digger, loves power, loves wealth, and hates her daughter for some reason. Which one sounds more one-dimensional? The first one or the second one? Hint. The second one is more one-dimensional. Which one is better as a character objectively? Objectively. Number one or number two? The answer is number one. There's no arguing with that. Now, you may like one or the other. You may have bad taste and like Mortal Kombat 11's better, but you cannot argue that number two is a better character objectively than number one. There's no arguing. Now, a lot of people who defend this want to bring up, well, that happened in the original timeline. That doesn't matter anymore because we have a new current timeline. So, forget about the original timeline. Okay, so let me remind you what is in the current timeline. Mortal Kombat 9, which is in this current timeline, reestablishes the fact that she was brainwashed, she was forced into marriage to Shao Kahn conquered her realm, and Shao Kahn killed her husband, and that she killed herself. I think I already mentioned that, but yeah, I already mentioned that. MK9 reestablished what we already knew. Now the difference here, there's a little bit of a difference here. The only thing different was that there was a little bit of an addition as to the reasoning why she killed herself. Now, of course, she didn't want to submit to a life of subservice, but the reason she killed herself was because she wanted to stop Shao Kahn from conquering Earthrealm. She wanted to save Earthrealm from what happened to her realm. Now, it doesn't make sense because why on earth would she care about Earthrealm? Like, she has never shown any interest or any sympathy towards Earthrealm. It's not like she hates Earthrealm, but like, why all of a sudden do you care about Earthrealm? Like, Sindel doesn't care. Now, but I digress. The main point here is that MK9 already reestablished what we already knew. And MK9, again, is in this current timeline. Now, the reason why there was such a dramatic change in Sindel's character, according to Stephanie from the Kombat Cast, was, I'm not even joking, was because she looks evil. Therefore, we're going to make her evil. How much do you want to bet they didn't even know this is what Sindel actually looks like? The reason why she looks gothic and the reason why she kind of looks evil with the gothic kind of vibe is because she was raised from the dead. So you kind of have to design a character that reflects that. Anyways, let me show the clip in Stephanie's own words.
The first is, there was always, in my opinion, a disconnect between the way she looked and played and acted in gameplay and the lore. Like, you look at MK Deception, and she's monstrous looking, she has the cool gothic makeup, the scream, all the weird powers. She's clearly an evil character.
Right.
But in the lore, she's this loving mother who's super benevolent and is like this just wonderful person. And
Sure.
It didn't really match, and now I think it totally does. She's never been more of like the sinister sorceress kind of witchy powers, and she's all in on being evil as well.
You know who else looks evil? Havoc. Is he evil? Nope. He is not. Now, he's not a good guy, don't get me wrong, but he was never on the side of Shao Kahn. He was never on the side of the Deadly Alliance, Quan Chi or Shinnok. He opposed Onaga in Deception. He didn't fight with Onaga in Deception. He opposed Onaga. He fought against Onaga in Deception. But you know what's funny? I shouldn't even bring up Havoc as an example, because in this current timeline, you know what they turned Havoc into? A power-hungry villain in the Mortal Kombat X comic. It's so funny. A character who looks evil, according to them, Sindel, turned into a power-hungry villain. Havoc looks evil, turned into a power-hungry villain. Anyways, I like how Stephanie tried to say something like, oh, no, it's been there all along. You guys just didn't know it. It's a big twist. I'm like, come on, man. Just take a look at what she said.
She's from MK3. She is the Queen of Edenia, who betrayed King Jared to side with Shao Kahn.
Okay.
Because she wanted power and the status to be the Empress.
Right.
And that is actually new information. Previously, it was thought that she genuinely loved Jared and that she was mind-controlled to turn evil. And in this game, we're actually exploring that is not the case. She is every bit as evil as Shao Kahn, and they are a genuine, actual couple. And it is a very exciting piece of story information.
So it's a new path for the Queen.
Yes, and this is not some kind of shenanigan. This is the real lore, and it's a pretty big for Sindel. It's a very new interpretation of her personality. And
That's exciting.
Look, we know what a retcon is. We aren't stupid. We watch TV. We watch TV shows. We read books. We watch movies. When a continuity error happens in those TV shows and those movies and those books, we know what it is. It is a retcon. We know what writers do. As stupid as I may be, and as stupid as we all may be at times, we know what a retcon is, okay? So you can't say this is something that's been there all along, because it hasn't, okay? It hasn't. I also like how Tyler's reaction to that was him like, huh? Like, it's hilarious. Look, I'm not going to get on Stephanie for this because Stephanie has nothing to do with the story. She's just saying something that she kind of has to say because it kind of looks like a gun is pointed right at her head to say that, to make sure that is said. So, and look, if you guys know 16-bit, she actually really does care about the story and the lore. She's a big fan of the 3D era. And if she was still a tournament player and not working for NetherRealm, I am 100% sure she would not like this Sindel change. I'm not going to get on Stephanie for this, nor am I going to attack any of the writers. I mean, I may criticize them, yes, that's fair. I may criticize the writers for this. But I'm not going to get on like on the developers who have nothing to do with this, because that's just stupid. I've seen people do that. And no, just don't do that. That's the other thing, guys, is that a lot of people have been personally attacking Sean Kittleson on Twitter for this Sindel retcon. If you guys don't know who Sean Kittleson is, he is the writer for the Mortal Kombat 11 story. So he's just been getting really upset because he's dealing with his sick child, who apparently is getting better, thank God. Sean, if you're watching this, all the best wishes from me to your family and to your child. I hope your child gets well. But yeah, guys, just don't do that. You know, don't be going around like that. I know most of you guys who are watching my video know better, and it's fine to criticize the writing. It's fine to criticize the writing, and it's fine to criticize anything about the game and letting the developers and the writers know about it. Sure. But like the attacking, no. The harassing, no. Don't do that. I have never encouraged that, and I never will. And I've never done that myself. The other thing is that Sean Kittleson has nothing to do with the DLC characters and their story. That's Dominic Cianciolo who is in charge of the DLC characters. Now, I'm not saying go get him. He's attack his ass. Get him. It's him. No. I'm just saying Sean has nothing to do with this. So the attacks are kind of unjust. I think the only reason why people are doing that was because, writer for the Mortal Kombat 11 story, and he has championed it. He has been on board with it, and that's just the part I disagree with him. The shilling and everything, like I just disagree with him. I think he's probably doing that just to keep the relations good with him and WB. He's not working for NetherRealm, or he doesn't work for WB anymore, but I think he's just agreeing with the Sindel retcon, or he's championing the Sindel retcon because he wants to keep the relations good with WB, and like that's just the part where I disagree, but that's fine. Look, I don't hate the developers. I may really dislike the choices that they make. I may disagree with the choices that they make. I may hate the choices that they make, and I've found myself in that situation many times, but I don't go attacking them on a personal level. I don't go harassing them. I don't do that. I have never done that. Like even a NetherRealm employee responded to me directly on Twitter. I made a tweet about how Sindel's new story is garbage, how it's a bad take for the character. I'm not going to say his name out of respect, but hey, he responded to me. He seemingly disagreed with me, and I disagreed with him, and I told him, here's why I disagree with you, and that was pretty much it. It was in a civil manner and a respectful manner. That's how it should be. That's how I believe it should be. I think that's the right thing to do, right? I think I'm doing something right. Now, look, a lot of people want to say, well, it doesn't matter. She's not in story mode, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. Who cares? She's not in story mode. And I'm like, that's stupid. How do you think we learned about the characters in MK1, MK2, MK3, MK4, even MK Deadly Alliance? All the way up into Armageddon, how do you think people learned about the characters and the story? They read the bios. They read the endings. They looked at the attract mode. You know what we have now in the Mortal Kombat games? We have intro dialogues. Do you think people are not going to read the bios, the endings, and now listen to the intro dialogues? Of course you don't think that, because people do. So if you portray a character, people will learn about these characters. If they do not have any story cutscenes to go off of, all they have left is the bios, the intro dialogues, and the endings. So if you portray a character in the wrong way, people will take it for what it is, and then they will have a misunderstanding of what that character is all about, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants a misunderstanding of that, because you want people to learn about the characters the right way. You can't say, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. No, stop it. Nobody wants that. You can't say this gives her more agency and makes her a strong and empowered, independent woman. What's strong and independent about, oh, I love wealth, I love power, and I hate my daughter for no reason? For no reason. What's strong and independent about that? You know who's empowered female? You know who are empowered females in Mortal Kombat? Kitana, Sonya. Are they evil? Nope. For fuck's sake, Sindel was empowered in deception. Because you know what she did? She was like, my God, my daughter is mind controlled. I know what it's like. My daughter saved me from mind control. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out of my way and save my daughter from that mind control. I'm going to return the favor. That is awesome. That is empowerment. But you want to say, oh, no, I love wealth. I love power. I hate my daughter. I love dominating males. I love that. You want to say that's empowerment over what I just said about deception? Really? Come on. Come on, dude. This isn't an apples to apples comparison, but just look at how many people thought and still think to this day that Mortal Kombat is this dark and gritty, realistic, horror-like franchise. Well, you know it is nothing like that. The original games are nothing like that. It's super wacky and fun, fantasy heavy, classic Bruce Lee Kung Fu movie themed, and a lot more colorful than you think. But you know what started this, dark and gritty, realistic Christopher Nolan-esque notion? Mortal Kombat Legacy. Mortal Kombat Legacy started that. Because that was our first time we ever got anything Mortal Kombat live action since the movies in the 90s. So this was either a reintroduction or an introduction to a lot of people. And a lot of people believed this for so long. People believed this for so long, and it even tainted one of the games' presentation. And you know what game that was? Mortal Kombat X. Just go back and look at how colorless that game is. Because it was being made while so many people believed that Mortal Kombat was this dark and gritty franchise. When you know it's not. It is nothing like that. Look, the fact of the matter is that retcons are terrible. They are incredibly damaging to story and to the characters. I know, big surprise, right? But look, here's the deal. If NetherRealm thinks it's okay for them to retcon characters in a way that is a complete betrayal to what we already know for worse, then nobody is safe. Johnny Cage may be a drug lord on the streets. He may not be a Hollywood star. Raiden may be a waiter at a restaurant. Boraicho may not be fat. And would any of you guys think those examples would be good ideas? Of course not. I mean, and if those who are still saying, well, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Nope. Okay, just wait until they reveal that Scorpion was the one who killed his family and clan. Scorpion killed his wife and his son and all of his clan members. Why? Because he likes power, he likes wealth, and he likes hellfire. And that was in his interest. That is the reason why he is evil, or he looks the way he does. Just wait until they do that. And I do not want to hear, if they do that, I don't think they will, but hey, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe anymore. But if they do that, I do not want to hear, oh, how dare they? How dare they do that to Scorpion? That is a complete betrayal of what we know Scorpion to be. What do you think we're saying about Sindel? Anyways, I'm going on a little bit too long here. Look, the main point I'm trying to get across here is a message to NetherRealm. NetherRealm, how do you expect us to be invested in the characters that you make when they're going to be changed completely, for better or worse, in the next game or the next two games? How are we supposed to be invested in your characters when retcon after retcon happens, change after a huge change that don't make sense most of the time? How are we supposed to be invested in your characters? Now, yes, there may be people who like characters for gameplay reasons, and that's it, and that's fine. That's fine. You can like a character however way you want. But for people like me, people like us, who love the story, who love the characters for their story, what are we, chopped liver? What about us? What about us? And there's people who like gameplay and story. What about us? What about us? You can't be doing these retcons and expect us to be invested in your story. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Do you know why I stopped doing a lot of these lore-heavy videos? Was because the retcons in MK11 killed my investment. There are so many of them that happened in this game. Cabal, that was a retcon. Why do you think I stopped making these kind of lore videos? Was because it killed my investment. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to stop, but that killed my investment, a lot of these retcons. And honestly, when I saw Sindel's story, of course I was outraged, but inside my mind I was like, nothing new. NetherRealm, you guys don't want that attitude with people. I know you have worked so hard to make these characters. You want people to like them, but you can't be not consistent. You can't be doing these retcons. It kills our motivation. It kills my motivation to invest in your games and your story and to care. It kills it. And it didn't kill it completely, but it killed it a lot for me. And look, I know, I don't know, but I think the underlying reason as to why you changed Sindel wasn't because she looked evil, was because, you know, she was forced into marriage in her original story. She was forced into marrying Shao Kahn. That is implied rape. And I'm sure you guys didn't want to touch on that subject, or you guys didn't want to be in that realm. And I get it. I understand. But you know what you could have done to fix that? Just say that Sindel killed herself as soon as the invasion started. As soon as the invasion and the conquering of Edenia from Shao Kahn started, she killed herself. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. And it took me 5 seconds to think of that. Just be careful, NetherRealm, with how you treat your characters. I'm sure you do it with the best intent. I am sure you guys put a lot of work. But the things that you're doing, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. And that's pretty much my message with this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how disappointed you guys are about Sindel. I'm sure you guys have already said it in other message boards and other YouTube comments and on Twitter. But just let me know. Just let me know what you guys think about all this. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Mortal Kombat content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.